We got a race starting in 6 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and submit my entry for the race. I'm driving the Supra Racing Concept 2018. So sorry for the pause, or I'm not sorry because I'm going to do it anyway. But what I am doing is, just checking the feed. Might send it out. And sending the link out to friends. All right, so we're going to give this a couple minutes to wind down. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to start a race here in 4 minutes. All right, guys, so 3 minutes. I've already done this track a few times, so I'm not really interested in qualifying. A lot of times at this point, what I'd be doing is driving around the track, continuing to get more familiar with it. I'm feeling pretty good. I've been starting around P10, so 10th place, and then through being consistent, being minimizing mistakes, keeping it clean, keeping it on the track, and then also by making sure that the cars in front of me, if they make mistakes, that I drive my line and capitalize on those opportunities. If I can move up 1, 2, or 3 spots, I'm feeling good. So I have been able to do that in a couple of races today. we'll see how I start off. I may start at P10, and then obviously we'll see how I finish. In order to really get on the podium, first, second, or third, I need to be qualifying higher. I have a process for how I shave time off of my qualifying laps, and I'll get to that. So it's Friday. Each week is a new set of races, and I'm really just getting into the comfortable zone with this particular track for the week. So where I am is fine, and then I'll go back to working on my drills in qualifying. So we'll see. Race is starting here soon. I know there's time still left on the table. When it comes to my qualifying, I'm about 134.594, and that puts me at about 10th out of. It's typically about 16 drivers in each race. The fastest driver within the race starts out front is at a 133 low or mid, so like a 133 flat. I don't think that's where they'll be, but maybe a 133.5. My goal is to get to a 133.9 or a 134.0. That'll put me in about third or fourth or fifth, allowing me then to advance during the race, because the faster drivers in front of me, maybe there's a mistake that's made. A lot of times when the drivers in front, when I get the opportunity to pass, it's actually because they're battling each other, and that distracts them off of their line. So I'm starting P8, which is a couple spots ahead of 10, which is great. If I was at a 133.9 as an example, I'd be starting off first place. If I was at a 134 flat, I'd be starting off in second place. So that kind of gives you an idea of my qualifying targets. But again, I go through drills in order to get faster, very purposeful, by studying the fastest driver, and yeah, so I'll do that when I'm not in the mood rather to race. All right, so this is a warm up. This isn't the actual race. Warm up doesn't mean anything in terms of the race itself. In fact, people are silly, like doing donuts like that. I tend to use it to, reacclimate myself, especially if I take a break and I didn't do any more qualifying. Like just now, I decided to, check my messages. Today's the day before Valentine's Day, so happy Valentine's Day weekend. And also today is Joe's birthday. Shout out to Big Joe. Alright, I'm just grabbing some water. So the race is about to begin. Porsche 911 out front looks like well, that's not front, that's P2. Out front is actually the V12 Vantage, that's the Aston Martin. I'm in a Supra. Right in front of me is the Supra as well, XRL 09. Got some other cars. You got the VW Beetle out here. There may be a Lamborghini Huracan, Porsche 911. I know I saw a WRX, so race is on. goal is to keep it clean. I literally remind myself of that whenever I'm racing, because I can get a little bit amped up, heart pounding, adrenaline pounding, nervous for sure. But if I keep it clean, that's when I have the best races. Because other people don't keep it clean, they get penalties, they go off course. And they make mistakes. So we've got a couple opportunities to do really well because there are two drivers in front of us that have penalties. And they're going off track, and we like that. Again, you know, not hating on anybody. I don't want to see anybody do poorly. I certainly don't want anybody to drive into the back of me. Aggressive drivers do not get rewarded at all. So the Supra behind me is really not going to get rewarded. Now, it is getting in my head, which is dangerous, but they got a penalty, which they deserve, and I got a half-second penalty, which maybe that's for going off track. But erratic driving is not rewarded at all. So just psychologically, you know, that car behind me, the Supra, did get inside of my head. It did make me make a mistake. You can use things like that to your advantage when driving. If you're driving behind a car and you actually just stay on their tail without, you know, intentions of passing them or doing anything erratic to them, and get inside of their head to force a mistake. The car behind me in the last race, that purple WRX behind me, they were driving pretty erratically and got in my head, and makes me pay attention too much on what's going on back there and not enough of what's in front of me, and I end up making mistakes. It's a three-way battle of Supras. I need to be careful. About 2 seconds behind my normal pace. So I should be in P4 right now. I know exactly why I'm not, and it is my own fault. You know, regardless of what these other drivers are doing, I'm letting what they're doing shake me up. So what I need to do is just take a deep breath and settle in for the last lap. The final lap is coming up. I just want to keep it clean. In terms of goals, I am one position ahead of where I was, so it's a good spot to be. So now I just drive my line. So I got a penalty. It was a half-second penalty for going off track. My biggest mistake, well, let's talk about the good. The good is I did move up a position, and that was a mark of success. As long as I move up 1, 2, or 3 spots, I'm feeling good. Capitalize on mistakes in front of me. I got as high as P5, maybe P4, I don't remember. But then the mistakes came. The mistakes happened because the car behind me was driving aggressively, and instead of driving my own line and being consistent, I was watching too much of what was going on back there, and I missed my normal turning points and braking points. And then that's what pushed me off track. Then another car came up behind me that I recognized from another race, and I know I have to be careful of that driver, and so that threw me off my game also. So it really was, I let the other vehicles and I let what was going on around me get inside of my head, where what I should have done is just kept my line, kept it clean, kept consistency, and minimized my own mistakes. Alright, but again, I did move up, so I'm feeling pretty good, about that. Alright, so good stuff. Thanks for hanging out, and I will come back on here in a few.